Hey guys, David here, and this is a VR to Carolina Rose. Carolina Rose, you've added so much to this community, and I'm really thankful for you and your channel. But Carolina asked us to tell a funny story, so I have one. I don't think I've told it before in here. Maybe not. Maybe I have. I don't know. But one that came to mind was that when I first started working for the Department of Human Services about 12 years ago, I was a new employee, kind of nervous about everything, paranoid, that I'd do something wrong and all that. And in those days, you had to go out front, meet with your clients, and so there's a lot of running back and forth to the front of the building where the clients were, and then the back where all the offices were, and my desk and all that. And so every time you met with a client, you would run back and forth, make copies, scan documents, things like that. Well, one time early in my career here, I was working with a client and I really had to use the restroom. And actually I hadn't met with the client yet. We were supposed to go meet them at a location, then you take them back to the little mini office that you need to use to do the interview and all that. So I was kind of waiting for this client, and I really had to use the bathroom. So I left my little mini office that I was in the frantic search for a men's room. And like I said, I had just been hired, wasn't really familiar with the building or anything like that. And so I headed down to where I knew there was a restroom. So I went down there, and typical situation where there's a little alcove, there's a drinking fountain and a restroom on the left and a restroom on the right. Well, I headed down there. Let me relight this pipe. I headed down there, looked to my right, it was a women's restroom, so I charged into the one on the left. There was no one in there at that time. Well, there were a couple of stalls that were closed and all that, so I headed into a stall to use the restroom. All of a sudden, I hear women's voices, and I'm freaked out because I thought, how the heck did I get in the wrong restroom? So I heard these voices, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to stay there because that would be really awkward. So I unlocked the stall door, kind of put my hand out front, and to cover my eyes, kind of, and my name badge is out there and everything. So as I'm leaving, there are these two women sitting there talking. I said, "I'm sorry, I'm really sorry." I charged out of the restroom, only to realize that there were two women's restrooms. There was no men's room. So I just automatically assumed that if I looked and saw the a women's restroom, that the men's must be directly across from it, which was not the case. So anyway, I had to meet with the client that I was with, and I was totally paranoid and nervous the whole time because I was sure I was going to get in a lot of trouble. I was just really worried about that. So I mentioned it to a couple of coworkers, and they laughed and all that, but I decided I should go talk to the head boss. So I went to the director at that point, and I went to his office and I explained what I did, and I thought for sure I was going to be in a lot of trouble. One of my coworkers had already been in trouble for over familiarization with another social worker. He had apparently tapped her on the shoulder inappropriately or something, maybe rubbed her on the shoulder or left his hand on the shoulder for too long. Anyway, he got in trouble, so I thought for sure I'd get in trouble. But the guy that I went to talk to at that time just started laughing and just basically said, "Well, it's happened to all of us at least once." So that was the end of it. But man, I thought I was going to be in so much trouble, and I was really super embarrassed. Went back after I talked to my client, hibernated in my cubicle for the rest of the day. But anyway, that's one of my stories, one of my funny stories. I have several, but some I won't tell on here. But anyway, I thought that'd be a good story to tell here. Sorry, my phone's slipping apparently. Anyway, hope that's what you wanted, Carolina Rose. Again, thank you for your channel, and thanks guys for listening to my silly story. God bless y'all. Bye.